collected by the Census Bureau and Joliet, only in Joliet. Estimated population of Joliet in 2011, 148,402. Hispanic Latino in 2010, 41,255. Retail sales per capita back in 2007, $13,868. Now, let's just say that half of the Hispanic Latino population was undocumented. Let's just think. I know it's a lot more. That is 20,627. And then we multiply that by the retail sales per capita, if we were to sustain in 2011 at $13,868. The total amount is $286 million. $286 million. For Will County, the dollar amount is roughly $553 million. Usando la información del 2010, podemos calcular que si el número de indocumentados fueran 20,627 y que el consumo de ventas por persona fuera 13,868, el monto total en ventas sería de $286 millones. So, what will happen if this consumer force leaves Joliet if the detention center comes to Joliet? Entonces, ¿qué pasaría si estos consumidores se fueran de Joliet si el centro de detención viene a Joliet? Will $64 million investment in a for-profit jail outdo and support the loss of $286 million a year? $64 million for a contract, $286 million loss a year. ¿Serán 64 millones invertidos en una cárcel suficientes para cubrir una pérdida de 286 millones anuales? Or better yet, 20 years, because that's what Joliet will be on the hook in, at $286 million equals $5.7 billion. 20 years, $5.7 billion of loss. Mejor aún, 20 años a 286 millones equivale a 5.7 billones perdidos. I'll say that is an economic impact and a great loss of profit. Yo diría que sí es un impacto económico, ¿no? Y una gran pérdida de ganancias. But there is a bigger loss if CCA comes to Joliet and Will County. That is the loss of human dignity. Pero hay una pérdida más grande. Pero hay una pérdida más grande si la CCA viene aquí, la pérdida de la dignidad humana. You see, when we allowed a for-profit business like CCA, who sees a human being as an opportunity to profit, to come to our community, we have lost all sense of respect to ourselves. We have lost our human dignity. The taxable income payable to the city and the paychecks for those jobs are paid. I'll repeat that. The taxable income payable to the city and the paychecks for those jobs are paid. I could not live peacefully with myself knowing that those $10 were supporting the education of my children. No way. No way, Jose. No way, Mr. Tanner. Cuando permitimos que un negocio como la CCA, que vea a un ser humano como una ganancia, cuando permitimos que vengan a nuestra ciudad, a nuestra comunidad, perdemos nuestra dignidad humana. Esas ganancias de la ciudad y esos cheques de trabajo están manchados. So we understand the need for good paying jobs. We support and commend the interest of the City Council and the Mayor for looking out for these constituencies in bringing revenue and jobs to Joliet. We want you to know that we also want to help with that. We do. But most definitely, CCA with their clients such as ICE, the Federal Marshals, Transport, Homeland Security, and the local law enforcement groups they serve, is not the right opportunity for Joliet and Will County. Pero definitivamente esta compañía y sus clientes no es la oportunidad ideal para Joliet y el condado. With all due respect to the mayor and the city council, this is an immigrant issue. This is a federal government issue. This is a messy issue that the citizens of Joliet do not need to be dealing with, not just Hispanics, all of us in Joliet, en el condado de Will. Con todo el respeto que se le debe al alcalde y a los concejales, este es un problema de inmigración y del gobierno federal, y los ciudadanos de Joliet no necesitan preocuparse de esto. Todos. Your vote against bringing CCA to Joliet will send a powerful message to the state government and the federal government that might prompt them to fix their immigration policy problems. El voto en contra de la CCA mandará un mensaje al gobierno del estado y al gobierno federal para que arreglen ellos sus problemas de inmigración. Gracias. Thank you.
Thanks for that, David. Gracias, David, por eso. Next, I just want to introduce two people that are going to be giving their testimonials. And one is his experience in the CCA prison, and another person is going to be giving the effect that when someone's detained, their effect on their family and spouses and everything. So first, I'd like to introduce Raúl Muñoz. Usted quiere introducir a Raúl Muñoz, que va a dar su experiencia cuando ha sido detenido por CCA. Vamos a dar un aplauso. Feel wrong with that.
When I came here, I was told that Joliet was not a good place to live, but I don't agree. Because I feel safe, and I know that it's a safe place for my family. And when I say my family, I'm talking about my wife and my child, because I don't have anybody else. My family is down there in Mexico, and some other family I have is in another state. So basically, I'm here alone with my family. And I like Joliet. The city of Joliet is a wonderful city. And I would say, talking with some other people, some friends of mine, I was told that before there were signs in some neighborhoods that said, enter on your own risk. And since our Hispanic community moved in, I don't see those signs anymore. Joliet is safe. And I had always dreamed about coming to the United States since I was a kid. I knew that life was much better to raise a family and make a living up here. I tried to come legally, but the U.S. Embassy always denied my request. So I did what thousands of people do: cross the border any way you can. And here is where I get to share the experience I had with CTA. Back when I was 21 years old, the immigration agent arrested me and sent me to the detention center owned by CTA. The experience I had there, I don't even wish to my worst enemy, none less to my family or anybody else. When you enter there, the first thing you are told to do is take a shower. They give you some type of special shampoo to wash off flies, or whatever you may have, flies. This was humiliating because the showers are in the open behind big wall that separates beds from showers. And there was a line of 20 to 30 showers. And I had to get undressed in front of a bunch of people, a bunch of guys there that I didn't know, without the supervision of any guard. You are just thrown in there to take a shower, and you don't know what's going to happen there. It was very humiliating. Some of these individuals look like the characters that I have only seen in movies back then. Some of them were very scary. There were people from many different countries who spoke many different languages. And of course, I didn't understand any of those. And I didn't know why they were there. They could be terrorists, really bad criminals. Because we're talking, that was like 16 years ago, before 9/11. They were very different than now. They could have been people just like me, pursuing the American dream. It's something that we will never know. At night, I couldn't sleep because you don't know if something will happen to you while you're sleeping. I had one eye open and the other one closed. I don't think many people sleep in those places. You just don't know what's going to happen. And on top of that, there were guards. There were guards inside this big cell where we were like 200 in there and nobody to look after us. If something were to happen, it will be too late for a guard to protect and get you out of harm's way. Every time I think of this, it's like I don't wish this to anybody. If a center like this comes to Joliet, I will not feel safe anymore, and I will fear for my wife and kids, because I know what it's like to be inside on these places. I have my family here, and I don't want to move back to the border where I am from. It's not a safe place for my family anymore. It's a different life there now. I feel bad for people that don't know how the border is. And I really feel bad because the worst thing that can happen to you is walking in the middle of the night. Because normally, when they deport you, they do it in the middle of the night or when it's dark. And you have to cross in a group of 20, 30 people, 10 people, sometimes just 8. And you are an easy prey for any of delinquent guys that are there. The organized crime is always there. I don't understand why a country like the United States, that is based on immigrants, has considered a crime to live in heaven a better life for your family. And when you take a risk to pursue the American dream, when you cross the border, you end up in a place like CCA. It's a high price pay as far as emotional distress and human dignity is concerned. I would like to say this in Spanish, en inglés. Para todos aquellas personas que piensan que están a salvo porque tienen una residencia, quiero que piensen 2 veces, porque la residencia no los va a salvar de una deportación. I just want to remind the legal residents without citizenship that they're also easy prey for a center like this. Please, don't let CCA come to Joliet, because many of our families, they just want a better life, be at the risk of experiencing what I did when I was there. Vote against CCA.
Ella se llama Leticia Moroa y su familia. Gracias. We have another individual that was detained. Her name is Leticia. Thank you.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Leticia Moroa. Y yo también tuve una experiencia pues, algo triste para mí y para mi familia, sobre todo para mis hijos. Fue un 8 de marzo del 2010, cuando iba yo para mi trabajo como a las 7 de la mañana. Fui detenida por un sheriff. Ese sheriff, sin hacerme más preguntas ni nada, al ver que no traía una licencia, me llevó rápidamente detenida a Wheaton. Pasé un día y una noche detenida. Al día siguiente me dijeron que iba a ser trasladada a migración. La tristeza más grande fue para mis hijos el que mamá no hubiera llegado a casa. Ellos estuvieron bien durante el día. En la noche, como ellos me dicen, ellos ya extrañaban a su mami porque no llegó. Yo fui llevada a migración y duré 3 semanas detenida sin saber qué iba a pasar conmigo y con mis hijos. Si iba a volver a regresar por ellos o que si ellos iban a quedar aquí y a mí me iban a deportar. Fue una angustia muy grande para mí, más que nada para mis hijos, porque se notó el cambio en estas 3 semanas. Todavía he tenido alguna angustia, he estado en angustia porque sin saber qué va a pasar conmigo. El día 3 de diciembre tuve mi última corte. No dormí durante la noche sin saber qué iría a pasar conmigo. Si iría a ser deportada desde ese momento o qué iría a hacer de mí y de mis niños. Pero gracias a Dios me dieron la oportunidad de quedarme con mis hijos me dieron la residencia. Después de esa angustia, creo que ya terminó, pero aún así todavía siento eso en mí. Y eso creo que no lo voy a olvidar.
I'm not going to be able to do it justice, but this is a story that we hear all too often happening. And although, there's a sad middle to this story, it definitely ended on a good note. She was picked up on March 8th for driving without a driver's license. This is the exact law that we're actually about to pass so that this doesn't happen. But she was picked up, and she spent 3 weeks in jail, in detention center. She spent 3 weeks in detention center. And not only was it hard for her being separated from her family, not knowing what she was going to do, but having her kids wonder what was going to happen every day, whether or not they were going to see their mom ever again. She said it was hardest during the days and at the nights, especially when the kids really wonder what was going to happen to her mom. This has all changed now. We're seeing a change happen on a state and national level. The last time she went into court when she was unsure about what was going to happen, they granted her residency. So now she's going to be able to stay there. We're seeing this happen more and more, and we're seeing detention centers like this actually fail because the business is actually going down. We're seeing more cases like hers, more of the detainees, 78% of the detainees now not being held in these places because they're getting their residency. So thank you very much for sending that for
El siguiente representante que tenemos aquí, the next presenter, his name is Dr. Craig Purchase. El pastor
Thank you. I want to just recognize all of you that's here and how important it is that you taking this time to come out. I want to thank you personally for being here, all of our politicians and just everybody that's here. I think this is such an important issue that we stand up for and speak out against, that we are all here together. Somebody ought to say amen to that. I come here tonight to speak why it's so important to me, why I believe God doesn't want us to do this kind of thing, and why I believe that the black community should not tolerate this issue. Somebody want to say amen to that. What I want to say first of all is that at one time I didn't hold the position I have now because I hadn't taken the time to listen and to look at the other side, to put myself in somebody else's shoes. It's easy to make decisions when you don't put yourself in the other person's place. You make decisions based on prejudice or something you don't understand. But when you really understand this issue, it's a no-brainer. First of all, that my faith does not allow me to choose what I stand that's right or wrong. That's right. Amen.